It was one of the most interesting characters within the DC universe. And by interesting, I mean, it's really interesting to see what they're going to do with this character. How are they going to use this character? And that has been the character of Harley Quinn. And what do you do with Harley Quinn? Now, of course, even though a lot of people didn't like that first Suicide Squad movie, I personally did like it. It was a hot mess. The movie was a hot mess, no doubt. But I got a big kick out of it. I still got a lot of entertainment value out of the first one. The James Gunn version, clearly superior. But still, I like that first one. And one of the highlights, one of the main reasons I liked it was Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. And I know it's the cool thing to hate on Jared Leto's Joker, but I think the best part of that first Suicide Squad movie was the dynamic between Jared Leto's Joker and Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I loved it, especially that one scene when they're at the nightclub and the dude kind of disrespects Harley a little bit. I mean, the dynamic of that is just so great. And I think one of the big problems of that first movie was they didn't use that dynamic more. That being said, clearly because of the popularity of the character, they went ahead and did a couple other things. They made what I think was a mistake in the Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation 1 Harley Quinn. I like most DCEU movies, almost all of them. Not that one. That one did not work for me.
It needed more of an auteurist vision, I think.
It needed something. I don't know what it was, but that was just flat. And then they decided to make her one of the very few pieces that they were going to carry over from the first Suicide Squad into James Gunn's Suicide Squad. But unfortunately, that movie flopped, even though it's brilliant. It's a fantastic movie. But it left the question going, what do you really do with Harley Quinn now? And especially with the DCEU being in such upheaval and a lot of people not even really knowing right now what direction they're ultimately going to go. I think it's a fair thing that a lot of people assume that we've probably seen the last of Margot Robbie in the DCEU. Well, apparently not. Because answering some questions on Twitter, as he often does, James Gunn was straight up asked on Twitter, is Harley Quinn going to be back in the DCEU? And James Gunn just gave a one-word answer. Just a definitive yes. Yes, she is. Now, he didn't elaborate. He didn't go more into it, but it was a very straightforward question. There's nothing to read into here. No subtlety in the question. Will Harley Quinn be back in the DCEU? And James Gunn, no subtlety to his answer. Yes. It raises a question for me of should she come back? I mean, this really felt, especially going into the Fabulous Emancipation of 1 Harley Quinn, and then the way James Gunn used her in Suicide Squad, which again, brilliant movie. I wonder what is there for Harley Quinn to do in the DCEU? I don't know that she works as the lead character. We kind of saw that a little bit in Birds of Prey. I think she works fantastic as an ensemble character. Mm-hmm. We saw that both, I think, in the first Suicide Squad and in the latest Suicide Squad.
Gunn used her really well.
Uses her very, very well. But I wonder if, especially when we see things like Babylon, I'm wondering if a lot of her attention should really just be more on, you know what? I'm in a position now that I could build a career that could become known as one of the greatest of all time if I manage my career right. She's already got at least 1 Academy Award nomination under her belt, might have 2, I can't remember exactly. But with movies like Babylon and all this kind of stuff, she is poised.
Don't forget about Barbie.
Oh, and hey, listen, a lot of people are very excited about that Barbie movie she's got coming out with good Canadian kid Ryan Gosling. So it's just, should she go back to it? So Rob, number one, were you surprised to hear James Gunn say that Harley Quinn is coming back to the DCU? And if it were up to you, do you think it's even a good move to have her in the DCU, especially in this kind of turnover kind of period?
Well, I think Margot Robbie's a phenomenal actress.
Incredible.
I mean, I, Tanya, and she was so great in Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, she's one of our great actresses. So I think that, and she clearly loves playing the character of Harley Quinn. But again, Harley Quinn is a very difficult character, like you pointed out. She works great in an ensemble, but she's a difficult, I don't know if she is a leading character. And she does work so well in an ensemble, playing off other characters. And I think James Gunn proved, what is Suicide Squad, his Suicide Squad, if not a great ensemble film? You take the superhero-ness out of it all, it's a great ensemble. He got a bunch of great actors. He put them together, and their interaction was so entertaining. And I could see that he has plans. You can't tell me he didn't have plans for her when he was making Suicide Squad. I'm sure they talked. And So whatever he wanted to do, I think that she's somebody that people like. You like the character. Look at how much you love the animated series. People love this character.
Love the character.
And what you need great writing and great direction to make that character as fun and as big and robust as we want her to be. And I think James Gunn's the guy to do it.
Do you think, let me throw a wild thing out here, because if you were to say to me, Margot Robbie, plug her into a TV show, I'd say, she probably wouldn't do that. But what if that TV show was the #1 show in the world? Could you see Gunn convincing a Margot Robbie to maybe pop up in a Peacemaker or something like that?
You know what? I think that we now live in a world where if these actors are having a good time, they're working with world-class filmmakers, and James Gunn would ask her, why not? Because no longer do we live in a world where people are worried about their professional, like, oh my God, is this going to hurt my professional career? No, because when they were to pop up in something like that, it becomes something that people love. It's no longer, the line between television and film is totally blurred. It used to not be, but with streaming shows, everybody, that doesn't exist.
That stigma seems to be gone now.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And I think it has to be good. Not just, you can't just use her as like, this week on Peacemaker, Margot Robbie shows up. It's got to be, when she shows up, it's got to be good. And I think I don't think James Gunn would ask her unless it wasn't excellent.
And if Peacemaker didn't become the global phenomenon that it was, that maybe it's not something they could do. Anyway, guys, question is for you. James Gunn is saying that Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn is going to be back in the DCEU. Where? When? How? Which way are they going to use this character? Do you think it's a good idea? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, we want to thank one of the sponsors of today's video, HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep and completely ready to prepare. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. And guys, I know we are always looking for ways to save some money. In fact, HelloFresh is 25% less expensive than takeout, and it's even more cheaper than going to the grocery store too. And HelloFresh isn't just for dinners. Shop HelloFresh Market for quick breakfasts, wholesome snacks, and even desserts. You'll find everything you need to satisfy your cravings without stepping a foot in the grocery store or mini-mart. Listen, you know, I've told you guys before, Ann and I are both working professionals, so finding time to eat healthy and eat together is often challenging. But I'm telling you, these HelloFresh meal kits have made it easy to eat a lot healthier, it's less expensive for us, and we have a blast. And there's nothing like feeling like a chef when you put the final product on the plate. So right now, go to HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use the promo code Campea16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. That's HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use the promo code Campea16.